Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the live event for the Autocross afternoon session of today, August 1st. This fantastic Friday here in the middle of the nowhere countryside, northern Romania, in the in the town of Dej. We have a fantastic afternoon of motorsport prepared for you in this first session of Autocross that we will be having this afternoon. We will have a second session tomorrow morning for the teams that do not manage to complete the session today. We have already the track completely set up. The marshals popped up like mushrooms in the grass, waiting for the cars to come to them. And we already have the first team in the pre-scrutineering. It's an electric car. It's the car from Cluj. We know that it's the car from Cluj because we see all the Cluj team on the side of the track using umbrellas. They like copying the Finnish guys. Hi guys, how are you? Do you need something? Do you need a beer? 2 beers? 3 beers? 1 whiskey? Yeah, I do not understand anything. I will imagine that you don't want anything. Be careful not to fry too much in there in the sun. You are already wearing black. Let's not make the color of your skin match your t-shirts at the end of this Autocross event. In the meantime, few information from everybody that is watching us not live. We will be streaming live. We are already streaming live. If you do not know where to find us, just look for the live stream video link on the WhatsApp group for the event. Make sure to follow us. We will be having also a live tomorrow during the endurance event. And we will giving replays of the dynamic events that we had this morning with the runs that we saw on the acceleration and on the skid pad. And maybe some of the replays from yesterday's dynamic events where we saw the Cluj that is about to enter the track right now on the skid pad and on the acceleration. In the meantime, scrutineers, which you see in blue, are checking up the car for compliance before entering the track. Team members, you will see them wearing the pink vest. Marshals, you will see them wearing the orange vest or no vest at all, depending on how compliant they are with the safety regulations. And the guy that popped out like a mushroom in the yellow vest in the middle of the track is the media guy for Cluj, the one that is trying to dance in there in the middle. Go try, maybe tomorrow you do better. On the meantime, few information on what is on what we will see hopefully this afternoon in here. We have 4 cars that already passed the scrutineering throughout the previous days. We have 2 electric cars and 2 combustion cars that are ready to enter the track this afternoon, hopefully. The first electric car, as we mentioned already, is the Cluj car E017, which you will see in a moment on the track. Second electric car is the one from Hoff, the University of Hoff, which is wearing number 128, also with the in front from electric. And then we have 2 combustion cars. We had UPB drives from Bucharest car 169, and we have OLU's combustion car, which is number 198. We will see them hopefully this afternoon competing. And for each of the cars, we will see runs driven by 2 different pilots, with of course the pre and post scrutineering before and after each run, and with the driver change in between. As always, and as we had also this past year, we need to take advantage of this fun and fantastic weather that we have today. The asphalt is quite hot, as we managed to check out yesterday during the barefoot acceleration trials. And right now, just patience. This is basically 80% of what motorsport is just waiting for the cars to enter the track. Another 15% hoping for them to crash spectacularly, and the rest of the 5% is actually them moving along the track. For any teams that still do not know this, where you see the guys in black on the main road outside the track is a very good spot for spotting your cars go along this circuit that we prepared for the autocross event, in which we have several slaloms, a few chicanes, some gates, and overall plenty of fun for the drivers to test their abilities and the car's performance. And Cluj is entering the track, passing Scrutineering, warming up the tires, and getting inside the track. Across the first slalom, and getting into the far end of the circuit for the first hairpin. Tricky, difficult one in there, is a bit tight. Coming around through also a little bit of slalom in there into the second hairpin. And the car seems to be moving quite smooth. As always in motorsport, when it looks like it's going slow, it's not actually doing so. It's just a smooth ride, which usually means speed. Coming here through another set of slalom into the last slalom of the track, the last 3 cones of slalom, for another hairpin and passing in front of us. Silently crossing in front of us cleanly with a bit of drifting here, very nicely done. And coming along the track into the finish line. That was the first run for Cluj, keeping it clean. We saw the checkerboard flag, meaning that they are just going to pull into the post-scrutineering right now. Or is he doing the second run straight away? We have right now one drone following the car, which is making more noise than the car itself. It's a bit shameful to have a car moving this fast and so silent. And there we go, we start the second timing lap. There we go again, coming closer to us through the slalom, cleanly doing the track. Coming in front of us again for this second to last turn with a bit of spin in there, blocking the front right wheel. Across the last turns of the circuit. And across the line, we have completed the first 2 runs for Cluj. We have the results We have the results for the first two time laps for the autocross. The first lap was 1 minute 11:47. Second lap was 1:06:69, so significantly faster on this second run. 5 seconds faster than the pilot was on the first run. And coming again for the next timing lap across the starting line. We have yellow flags across the track, signaling the driver that it's time to go home. And Cluj pulling back into the pit lane for the post-scrutineering. We'll be having a short commercial break as the team is passing the pro scrutineering after this first autocross run for the team from Cluj. I imagine that for everybody that has no idea where Cluj is on the map, we don't either. We just know that there is an airport there which we use to come to here to the circuit. We're not very far from Cluj, actually in the middle of Transylvania. And what we can see in there are the scrutineers checking that the car is still compliant after this first run, while the team members assist in the scrutineering process. 1 minute 11 and 47 for the first run along the track. 1 minute 6 seconds and 69 for the second run along the track with a 5-second improvement. We're expecting to see even nicer results as the afternoon goes along, as the pilots get used to the circuit. And we can still see no activity for the second car that will be coming into the circuit. We do not know if there will be a pilot change from Cluj, or a second car will be coming along in a moment. We see some activity on the pit lane from Hoff, but we still do not know whether they will be the ones following up Cluj, or Cluj itself will follow themselves. Dennis, we have potentially 6 additional marshals if you need them on the track. Just let us know. We will give them vest, sun lotion, and send them to you crawling on the burning asphalt to make sure that they know the track. Okay, thank you very much. Then I will send them to grab a beer, non-alcoholic, because this is motorsport. Have fun with your trolley. What are you carrying in there? Do you have drinks for us also? Amazing. Cheers. Cluj pulling back into the pit lane after completing their first ever 2 runs of the Autocross. And we're eager to know what the next car will be, what the next contestant will be in this Autocross event this afternoon. We can see the team members are happy in the pit lane tent and they are chanting. And they're basically just saying Cluj-Napoca, good. They are not very original guys, but it's their first only competition. They will come up with something more amusing for us. Adriana, you're getting penalties if you cut the circuit. And right now we are back to the 80% of the time where absolutely nothing is happening on the circuit. The marshals toast in the sun, the scrutineers toast in the shadow, and that's basically it. That's basically motorsport. Luckily we have activity on the track. We have one of our media girls, Adriana, coming to join us to do some of the fantastic work that she's been doing in these past days. This year we have a novelty in this circuit. We have a marshalling tent in the middle of the track where the marshals can get foot massages during the event. We have a crew of Balinese women that came specially from the woodland inland parts of Bali, specialized in foot massages for the marshals to treat their burnt feet after standing so many hours in the sun in there. And in there they will find refreshments, massages, and if not, they can always massage each other in a non-sexual way, which is not proper conduct for a motorsport event. At the same time, we have the scrutineer, under a tent in here. It's a black tent. There is no massages in there. There is no even chairs. Scrutineering is a hard work of standing and waiting for the teams to do what they were supposed to do months ago, and just kick them in the balls whenever they come with shit technology on the cars intending to go into the track. Just let me know if you're bored at any moment and I will make fun more of you just to keep you entertained until the next car comes out of the pit box. You're all very, very, very sexy. In the meantime, we are preparing a surprise for you. If you follow the live feed, now is the moment to enter again. We have a last-minute competitor in the Autocross event, and we have some replay footage that we are preparing to play for you in a moment. That's a novelty this year. The scrutineers got smart and brought themselves a bench. I just hope that this bench is rule compliant, otherwise we will have to render it a no-go to be on the track, even if it's under the tent. But it seems to be holding its own. Just make sure that there are no plays where they aren't supposed to be. Just make sure that all the bolts are tightened and properly secured. And as you're giving the back to us and we have a camera pointing at you, make sure not to scratch your butts, because this will be recorded for posterity and posted on YouTube for everybody to see. Shout out also for our timing guys on the opposite side of the track, where you can see another black tent, a bigger black tent, because they are more important than the scrutineers, of course. And the timing guys basically are telling us the time. So it's 2:09 p.m. right now. Thanks to the timing guys, we know what time it is. And we also have the track manager in that tent coordinating this complete event. And now for the next autocross event, we have the last minute combustion car competition.
With the forklift,
we have live footage.
I don't know what he's going to do, because we really do not need a forklift right now, but he may just have been having a bit of fun trying the autocross circuit on some vehicle that is capable of passing the scrutineering on the first try, actually.
Along the track, making sure that everything is compliant. Just a reminder that today's autocross event is sponsored by Fiji Airlines. So if you're planning a holiday in the next year, just make sure to check their offers. There are very affordable flights to Fiji in this season. It's the dry season in Fiji right now, a perfect time in the year for scuba diving, for seeing whales, and basically for staying on the beach. While we're waiting for the next car to enter the autocross track, we are revisiting the second... the third autocross run that Hoff did in this acceleration event. As seen from the aerial footage that we managed to get, this was the fastest run that Hoff managed to do. At 4.5 seconds roughly, we do not remember exactly the second decimal. And That was basically Hoff Spannung's team fastest acceleration run throughout the 3 trials that they did today. I spoke with them later on. They told me that they were not completely happy with the result. They were expecting more performance from their car. They wanted to come down of the 4-second barrier in their autocross. They managed to pull still a very commendable 4.5 seconds in the acceleration event. We see the Cluj media guys are going back into the middle of the field, so we're expecting the second run with the second driver from Cluj coming into the track any moment now. We see that the car is being pulled out of the pit lane. We heard some cheering before. The scrutineers are getting their asses up from the bench that they improvised in there. Come on guys, there is job to be done. The marshals will come out of the tent at any moment now to start taking back their positions in order to continue marshalling this autocross event that we just started this afternoon. And just after the rain in the middle of a forest in autumn, the marshals start appearing on the track as mushrooms again, as orange mushrooms coming out of the white tent to take their positions on the track to make sure that every corner is rendered completely safe and that there is no possibility for mistakes that lead to safety problems in this autocross event 2025. Formula Student Balkan Days. If you are joining us now, we're in the middle of fucking nowhere, but the weather is fantastic, so we don't really care. We're getting the drones in the air. We're getting the satellites in position for the live coverage throughout the world. We're giving satellite coverage to the most remote islands of Micronesia, where the time right now is 3:15 a.m. in the morning. For all our viewers in Micronesia, welcome to this Formula Student Balkans event 2025. We care about you, and we care about global warming and your islands disappearing. But in the meantime, we care more about the scrutineers doing their fucking job so we can get the second run for Cluj on the track as soon as possible. Just a small comment for Cluj. It is not very nice that you give the dishwashing tasks to one of the only women in your team. I thought that gender equality meant that dishwashing would be shared across all team members regardless of gender. We have the car entering the track again. We have all the public in the tribune, aka the road that passes across the circuit. We see more umbrellas there. Surprisingly, the Finnish guys are not with umbrellas. We have the car warming up the tires again and coming in for the first timing lap as he passes the starting line a few seconds from now. In front of the public on the tribunes and across the starting line. Do not applaud yet, he just started. He still needs to finish in one piece, 4 wheels and pass the post-scrutineering. There is still chances for fun. On the far end of the track, where we only see the car moving left to right, across the third hairpin in this circuit. Bit tricky of a part in there, especially on the first corners of this track. And getting closer to us in the funny part, which is the area where we can really enjoy the car's performance across the first set of slalom. And then into the slalom in front of us, the last 3 cones for the slalom in this circuit. Coming about to pass in front of the pit lane entrance, second to last corner, accelerating full throttle dead ahead in there, and coming on the last turn and across the finish line for this first timing lap with a time of 1:15.78. Slightly slower than the first run for the first driver that we saw in this track. He managed to pull a 1:11, so 4 seconds slower than what they managed to do before that. Completing the intermediate lap, slower, letting the car rest a bit. Cars also need to sleep, but now is not the time for that. As he's completing this second lap into the circuit, remember that this is not a timed lap right now. He's just taking his time, making it good. And if you follow now the live, we just managed to pull something that is fantastic. We have the timing live on the live stream. Passing in front of us is 017, a sexy car but way too silent for what any car should be. And across the starting line for the timing lap, second and last timing lap for Cluj in this autocross event this afternoon. Slowly people start to gather to look into the circuit. We basically have in the tribunes part of Cluj team. We do not understand why there is not the complete team right now watching their car perform. And something happened, the car must have hit a cone. The car must have hit a cone because it came to almost a dead stop before resuming the second timed lap. On the tribune also we have the 2 Finnish pilots that will be doing the autocross this afternoon. They are waving at us, no t-shirts. Kulli or Polly. Finnish guys in their natural state camouflage with the environment when they are in Finland because they are white as snow and they never wear clothes. But right now it's summer and we are not in Northern Europe anymore, so it's very easy to spot them. Car passing in front of us for the second to last corner and into the last tricky bit of this autocross circuit. And coming across the finish line, Cluj is completing the autocross event in any Formula student ever. Congratulations, guys. Now go get some shadow, because even though you are Romanians and you are used to the sun, you are from northern Romania where the weather is shit. This is why everything is so green all the time in here. It rains permanently in this side of the country. Completing the cool down lap before entering into the pit lane for the post-scrutineering. We remind everything that is watching either live, either through our live stream, the competition, that nothing is finished in this event until the car has successfully completed the post-scrutineering after coming off the track. And this is because this is an engineering competition. As much as we like the drivers and as much as we like the cars in speed, it's important that the cars perform nominally and that nothing comes loose during the track, which would have rendered any effort for a time lap completely useless. We have the car being guided by the scrutineers under the shadow of the scrutineering tent. Under the shadow of the scrutineering tent is what was intended. But the pilot is new and the car is also new and he does not really have a good feel for the brake, so he stopped 3 meters short. As you can see, because the marshals are moving all back into the marshalling tent, we will take a short commercial break before we will see the next car onto the track. In the meantime, we're just waiting for the post-scrutineering verdict. You can see some of the team members checking if the exhaust is warm or not. It's an electric car, guys. What the fuck are you checking in there? If the stop light has heated up. Still waiting for the verdict for the post-scrutineering for Cluj. Life is hard. Now you have me on camera. We are adjusting the angles for the rest of the cameras on the track, which means that they thought that would make for a good placeholder to point a camera at me while they are adjusting everything else on the track. But don't worry, I will inform you duly on the post-scrutineering. As it's being performed right now, they are still working on rendering the car safe to the touch. And the moment that we have everything ready, we will start the post-scrutineering to see whether Cluj has or has not successfully performed this second half of the autocross event today. Danny is behind me trying to dance. Does not make for a very, very particularly sexy view, but it's okay. He's already married, he can do whatever the fuck he wants. There is a very low chance of something coming on in his life at this moment. And this is because he's the track manager in this autocross event. This is why you see him with the green flag behind. And while we're waiting for the next car to come onto the track, and while we're waiting for Cluj to pass the post-scrutineering, we will be replaying the first run. And there we go, that's the first run of the autocross as filmed from our tame drone driver that is piloting more aggressively than the driver from Cluj did on this autocross event, giving us amazing footage, amazing aerial footage on what went on in this autocross, and also giving you a feel for everybody that is watching of how the track layout looks once we have conified completely the circuit, making it tight, creating extra turns and creating extra challenges overall for our pilots in here in this Formula Student Balkans 2025 in Dej. We just saw the car coming on across the finish line. We saw the checkerboard flag, and the car continues onto the second timing lap afterwards across the chicanes. This is the far end of the circuit. This is the part that we can barely see from where we're standing in here, but is nonetheless some sexy part of the circuit, as we have our pilot following the car that is moving way faster than it looks like on the video right now. This was the lap in which the pilot did 1 minute and 06 seconds on this autocross circuit. 1 minute and 6 seconds is substantially fast, considering that is their first electrical car to compete in the dynamic events of Formula Student competition. We expect they will be equally successful, if not even more, in the Formula Student Germany, which is their next competition, coming on in 3 weeks from now, if I'm not wrong. And if I'm wrong, I don't really care. And that was it, the beginning of the second timed lap. The pilot did a fantastic time in this lap. 1:11 for the first timing lap, 1:06 on the second one, so 5 seconds faster was the lap that he managed to do in here. This was the first pilot from Cluj. The second pilot did slightly worse. He did 1:15 versus 1:11 on the first lap, and 1:26 versus the 1:06 on the second time lap for the second pilot from Cluj. If you want an order of magnitude of what it takes by bicycle, you can do this circuit under 1 minute and 20 seconds. So basically, Cluj pilot managed to do it slower than by bike in this fourth autocross run and during this very nice event that we're having this afternoon in here. We're in the TNT karting next to Dej. Dej is a very small city we don't really care about, in the middle of nowhere. And that is because we don't have any fucking idea of anybody that is from Dej, because it's a completely unrelatable scenario what we have around that in terms of city. But it's a remarkable place where we are in the middle of the countryside and among the valleys. That was the finishing of the second timed lap from Cluj. And we're back live right now on the live footage of the E017 going through the post-scrutineering. We managed to put a camera up the ass of one of the scrutineers so we can really see if something is happening very, very up close right now. Any activity that we have will be readily seen on whatever is happening. As always, we are committed to give you the best live action that we can provide with the very limited resources that we have, which is basically 3 stones, a stick, and 2 cameras. Waiting for the second car to decide that they are ready to enter the track. Information that we have right now from the pit box is that the most probable car to follow up Cluj's performance would be Hoff with their E128. OLU still has a bit of work in their 198 car, combustion engine in this case, and Bucharest is still working in getting the car ready for the Autocross session this afternoon. We see if we will manage to see all 4 cars that pass the Scrutineering static events this afternoon, or there will be something left for tomorrow morning, but this is something that only time will tell this afternoon. While we are waiting, we keep you company with this very cheap copyright-free music. It's a mix between jazz and something that is definitely not worth listening unless you are in a situation right now. And in the meantime, the track looks very nice. The asphalt is warm and crispy. The track was asphalted soon enough, not long ago. In the meantime, if you're watching the live feed, we've prepared some aerial footage of the circuit. We are well aware that only the drivers get to do the reconnaissance lap, so we have prepared some aerial video so you can see the layout of the track as we have it right now set up for this Autocross event this afternoon. And starting on the starting point of this circuit, we have basically all the track prepared, with the first slalom that you see right now coming on before the first corner. Just a reminder for people that had never seen a slalom in their lives because they live in a cave or because they have never been skiing. A slalom is a portion of the circuit where you do one cone on each side of your car in this case. So basically you are assessing around. We have 2 gates after the slalom and we're going into the first corner where we start restricting the width of the track towards what the regulation allows us. We want basically to discernish between how the car's performance work on tight turns, how the drivers handle the car on tight turns, on tight hairpins, and basically narrow tracks. And it is a very good way of doing that, of pulling the maximum 3 meters width that we are allowed by regulations into the track itself. The fact that we have a circuit that is significantly wider than what we would have expected from a Formula Student track means that we can play with the turns however we want to make it more or less challenging depending on what we want the pilots to sweat during their driving laps, during their timed laps along this track. As you can see, we have plenty of cones that we have conveniently stolen from Formula Student Netherlands, which took place 2 weeks ago. And we are basically stickering them with Formula Balkans stickers as much as we can to make sure that nobody steals them from us. You know that once you steal it is yours, now they are ours already, because we sticker them around. Every time you move a cone, you touch a cone, you step on a cone, or you just crash into a cone, it incurs a penalty, of course. It's a time penalty in this case because this is a timed event. And we continue looking at the circuit as we come into the last half of the circuit where we will have the remaining 2 slaloms of this track. And basically we will show you tomorrow also the layout for the endurance, which will be slightly modified basically for allowing for overtaking zones, because we expect to have more than 1 car simultaneously on the track, which makes it for a nicer and more fun experience as we see the last hairpins and the third and last slalom across the track. We will let you see for yourselves if the track is nice or is not. We'll get pilot feedback tomorrow. Hopefully we will prepare a few interviews with whoever wants to come in here and speak with me. And we would like to get some feedback on some of the pilots on the driving performance they had and on how the handling was for the car. During the live events, the only way you are entering the track is because you are a marshal and you go by foot, or you are a car and you are driving it. We have right now the two event managers discussing friendly one to another on if these rules should be allowed to be bent or not. We're getting ready emotionally for Bucharest to enter the track. We got information that in about 5 minutes they will be ready to enter the track, which means that this will probably turn into half an hour in the way they usually operate. That's the MO, that's the modus operandi of the south of Romania. Yeah, we just got informed that the information was wrong. It was not 5 minutes, it was 5 days. So probably we will have it ready for the Autocross in Formula Student Czech, which is the next competition that they will be having. We already coordinated with the guys in Formula Student Czech to repeat to the centimeter all the track that we have in here for the Autocross. And we will be basically using the results from whatever performance they have there in this Formula Student Balkans competition. We just got information that OLU is pushing the timeline. OLU wants to let the other teams have hopes and dreams before they come last and they completely destroy whatever timing they did in the autocross sessions. We really hope that's true and that is not just a traditional Finnish bluff in which nothing absolutely happens afterwards or they just crash into a wall after 5 seconds. We really hope that is not the case. We really hope that hopefully they will crush some dreams from other teams before, because we love seeing people destroyed and defeated after somebody else did a better performance. That's actually motorsport. That is the way it works. You can only improve by destroying somebody else's performance beforehand. We see the scrutineers look at us and agree with that. That is what they live for also. Destroying hopes and dreams when the pilot thinks they have done a perfect lap, and then they find a play in one of the wheels and they decide that the car needs to be disqualified. We are basically being informed that everybody in the pit lane has already their pink vests on, the pink vests, in order to enter the track. But there is nobody entering the track, which leads us to the conclusion that they just like pink, and that's the only way they get to wear it, while also having their team uniforms representing their different teams in this competition. Don't worry, guys, we will make pink clothes for everyone next year, so you do not have to be ashamed, or do you not have to start to enter the track to wear your favorite colors in here. We are all about fashion. We are coordinated every year with the Milano Fashion Week, and we make sure that the color scheme for all our volunteers matches whatever you're seeing right now on the track. And we are seeing the UPB Drive car coming in for the scrutineering. Just a small comment, the Formula Student car by Bucharest is the one you see the team captain pulling around, is the red thing with 4 wheels that is coming in. Whatever you're seeing behind is a race car that has nothing to do with the team itself. They just bought a mock-up and they are pushing it behind the real kart. Marshals, 5 minutes to your places. Go to the sun. Get tanned. Cheaper than the beach. In here you have free food. You are insured breakfast, lunch and dinner. Come to marshalling with us. We will just toast you in the sun for 7 hours during 3 days in a row, but we will feed you nonetheless and give you the minimum amount of water that will keep you pruny but not completely dehydrated. Bucharest on the fueling station right now. You did not see that a bit later. You did not see that before because Cluj was an electric car, as you may have noticed, because of the absence of absolutely any kind of emotion in the soundtrack of their car going along the track. This will not be the case for Bucharest. A car that sounds better than it moves, a car that looks better than it moves, a car that does whatever better instead of moving or breaking chains. We are already on the second chain in this competition and we have not yet even started already the dynamic events. But life is hard. 169 the number of a car. They try to be funny, but they never manage to get the 069 or the plain 69 because there is always somebody faster than them doing the registrations. 1 minute 20 seconds is the time to beat. That is the record along the track with the bike. Let's see if they can do something about it. And now talking seriously, the best time across the track right now is 1:06, set by Cluj on the second run for the first pilot in this autocross event for 2025. It's the 4th day of motorsport here in Dej. And we love it. Apparently, we have OLU also coming out of the pit lane. We have UPP Drive that apparently finished the refueling. And we have our favorite team member from Bucharest pulling the car right now to enter the track. You've guessed it. Petrica! I thought OLU would be the last car to enter the track so they could crush the hopes and dreams of everything that came before them. But they are preparing to enter this autocross session. OLU is the only team that we have this year in the competition that brought tire covers. Not because they serve any purpose, but they look extremely cool while they are moving the car around. Remember that motorsport is not about speed or performance, it's about looking cool. Bucharest still doing 75 maneuvers with the car where one would suffice. That is the style of Bucharest drivers, doing completely pointless things just because they can. And now after you finish pulling it backwards, you pull it front again. Of course, that is what we were expecting already since a very long time. The Finnish umbrellas. Finnish umbrellas, which some of the Finnish teams that are sitting in here behind us told us that whenever it starts raining, they cover them. Rain damages this type of umbrellas, they are only good for the sun. And this is motorsport. The only two cars in combustion category that pass the scrutineering are the ones that are gathering everybody along the track. Nobody wants to fucking see an electric scooter go along the track. We want to see engines. We want to hear the engines. Who the fuck gives about powertrain if it does the same sound as the phone charging during the night in your nightstand? We are extending our most formal invitation to the electric teams to send us an audio of a real engine sound so we can overlay next time they are on the track. So we at least have the feel that we have a car on the track and not a fucking electric scooter charging on the nightstand. OLU warming up the engine next to the scrutineering tent. You can see that the scrutineers start getting anxious. They want to get their hands on tires, on suspension rods, on powertrain elements. We have Fanica on the scrutineering tent already stretching so he can pull out of every wheel in every possible direction to make sure that the cars are track ready. Apparently Bucharest just stopped somewhere else for a particular reason that nobody understands. It seemed like they were coming into the track, but now they have second thoughts. And we're back to this Montana banjo music that we have right now sounding through the speakers. OLU is on the ground, so we will be expecting them very soon under the scrutineering tent. You can see the scrutineers are circling around about the car like sharks, assessing the prey, measuring up the size, measuring up the power, looking for the best place to attack. And as you can see, the moment that the car entered the scrutineering tent, the scrutineers jumped on top of the driver to make sure that the seatbelt is fastened, that the wheels are properly tired. And then of course we have Mihai, one of the scrutineers, the one with the red jacket, pretending that he's doing something while the other two are working. Remember, this is not Germany. If there is 3 people, there is not 3 people working. At best we have 2 people working and somebody just giving his opinion. Bucharest lined up to enter the warming up area in the track. Something that we do not get to see with electric cars. They don't need warming up because they are boring. OLU getting ready to enter the track. We have the track manager waiting for the okay from all the marshals, which are not yet in their positions, but they will be very, very soon. While Bucharest is preparing for the warm-up. Last briefing for the pilot. Zachary on the wheel, starting the engine. You can see his Kimi Raikkonen look through the helmet. That's because all the Finnish guys with a helmet look exactly the same. We're waiting for the green flag, but it will still take a lot because the marshals are late. We're waiting for the marshals to get in position, and whenever we have the marshals in position, we will be expecting the green flag from all of them to know that the track is safe, to know that we can start this first autocross run for car number 198 combustion engine car, as you can hear, and we will try to give you the best experience. In the meantime, the scrutineering tent is getting busier. We have all 3 remaining cars waiting to enter the track, but you will have to wait. This is Romania. There are 3 cars and we already have a traffic jam. This is what happens in this country the moment that you have small roads. But this means more fun for us. We're waiting for the okay for all the marshals. We can still see some of them not running into their positions. And in a moment from now, we're waiting for the okay from everybody else. We have coordination. Can we do like a space launch coordinations? Marshal, go. Car, go. Driver, go. Fuel, go. We are bored, go. And we have green flag. OLU entering the track. Not pushing very hard yet. Pretending that he's warming up the tires. And starting now, accelerating through the starting line. Coming on into the first slalom segment. We saw the track circuit from above during the commercial break that we had before. And we have the car right now towards the far end of the circuit. The part that we can barely see, it has very nice hairpins in that segment in there. And we see that the car is moving very nice and clean. It actually looks quite nice. It looks quite fast. "35 seconds into the track, the car is getting closer to us. few more hairpins until we have it in front of us again. We have right now what you can hear in the background is Bucharest warming up their engines. As we see OLU passing in front of us in this first hairpin into the last 3 cones of the last slalom. 2 more gates and we will have the car passing in front of us now. Coming into the last corner and accelerating across the finish line right now. 1 minute 07:92 seconds. Slightly slower than the best lap that Cluj did, barely by 1 second. But this is just the first run that they did, so we're expecting significantly faster performance in this second lap as the driver gets used to the circuit right now. Getting ready for the second timing lap in this autocross event. We have the car slowly coming closer to us. He's not pushing it on this lap, he's just keeping the car in parameters, he's just practicing the racing line. And you can see that we have aerial footage of the drone following the car behind him. This is one of the novelties of this circuit. Passing in front of us again for a second time and accelerating back across the starting line onto the first slalom. Bucharest is getting impatient next to us. They are revving up the engine as we see OLU on the furthermost part of the track. In this autocross lap that so far is looking very, very clean. We did not see any penalties so far. And in parallel, of course, we're getting the scrutineering for the car 138 for the Hoff racing team. As we see OLU getting closer together and starting the second slalom. 5 cones on this second slalom. Clearing it very cleanly onto the third slalom with a tricky entrance in there. And an exit, wide exit into the last hairpin on this circuit. Passing through the last gate. And this is the sound the car should do. That is what we like to hear as the car accelerates across the finish line on the second time. 1:05.99. 1:05.99. They managed to destroy the hopes and dreams of R2 best lap, which was 1:06. Not by a lot, just by 0.7 seconds overall. So very close results as we are seeing so far right now. The car is just getting warmed up, the tires are just getting up to temperature, and we will be expecting OLU to come into the pit lane for the driver change while we see either Bucharest or either Hoff enter into the track for their autocross session. Do you like motorsport as much as we do? Then you can buy merchandise for us. We have all kinds of home items. You can decorate your living rooms with motorsport components that the cars lost during the last years. We have all kinds of spare parts that we stole from Formula student cars along the years, as we see OLU pulling over for the post-scrutineering as soon as Hoff clears the scrutineering tent. We will be giving extra points in the dynamic events to any team that facilitates our job in this live stream event. So come and offer your help. If it's useful, we will give you additional 500 points for everything that happens. Look at all our different mushrooms sitting in different parts of the track. Different colors of mushrooms, and remember, the more bright and shiny the mushroom looks, usually the more dangerous it is to eat. So don't even look at them. After going through the scrutineering tent, we see the team from Hoff doing some maneuvering apparently to enter the scrutineering tent on the back. We don't know what is happening. Maybe they got tired of waiting in the sun. We see that Bucharest is in the scrutineering tent right now, in the mechanical scrutineering, press scrutineering before the autocross. And we have some of the marshals getting sunburned, covering their eyes, covering their heads, covering their balls, not to get sunburned, as we are waiting for the second, not the second, but the third team to enter the track today for this autocross event. We're expecting Bucharest to enter the autocross track, after which we may be lucky and get to see Timișoara compete in these dynamic events. They informed us that the car is not ready, but they will be bringing on a cart with a donkey pulling it in front, so they may be able to compete into this autocross event in the natural powertrain category. Bucharest pulling out of the scrutineering tent as OLU is being signaled to enter the scrutineering tent for the post-scrutineering. We have the marshals ready already since 10 minutes ago, like it should be. They should be waiting. They should be kept waiting, not the cars to them. We have the team members finishing the setup for the car, meaning they are starting the GoPros to film anything that may happen. We know that it is extremely dangerous to run on this track without having a dashboard camera. Imagine that somebody crashes into you. You will need footage for the insurance later on. We're waiting for the green flag any moment now as the track manager waits for the okay, and we have it. Engine is starting, and we have Bogdan at the wheel of this DR06 car with a very slow start right now and coming into the track. We're getting the drone in the air, and we hear the horns of Gondor as the riders approach. Across the starting line, not with a hard acceleration, he's not really pushing the car yet, as we can see. He's just taking it nice and easy across the first slalom, across the first gates, and across the first corner. We are on the far end of the track, waiting to see what is happening in that segment of the field. It's the first time that the pilot is driving this autocross segment, so we are not expecting the best time to happen on this first timing lap. But it's more like a reconnaissance lap at this point. The Macedonia guys are complaining that we're not talking about them, but maybe if they manage to get into the dynamic events in time, we would be able to comment on their performance. In any case, they managed to start the car, which is a great accomplishment for them. And Bucharest has stopped on the third hairpin of this circuit. We're still pending to see what went wrong in this first timing lap for the Bucharest Autocross car. He just came to a stop on the third hairpin at the far end of the circuit. Maybe they broke the chain. It's unlikely that they broke the chain. Petrica is not driving the car right now. But something definitely has happened. It can be a cone, it can be a mechanical failure. We will wait to see. There is no way of knowing. And something is definitely not wrong as we see the team members going with the push bar to see if they can do anything. But apparently that is not happening. They are turning around. Confusion. Confusion is the general atmosphere right now because we do not understand what is going on. We do not understand what is going on because basically the car has come to a stop into the only part of the track that we cannot see. The car has come to a stop in the third hairpin in this circuit and they pulled the car into the grass. He did not manage apparently to restart the car. So they will be pulling it out of the way so we can move on with the next car probably on this autocross event for the Formula Student Balkans 2025. We have OLU back in the pit lane probably for the driver's change. And we have Hoff in the scrutineering tent where did the mechanical static scrutineering and the electrical also static scrutineering. Pending to see when they will be ready to enter the track in this session from today. Macedonia has made his home the mechanical scrutineering tent. They will probably start building walls around it so when winter comes they will not be cold because they plan on being there for a very, very long time from now on. And in the meantime we bring you some footage of the layout of the track as we have it set up for the autocross event. So if you're not a pilot, you can still enjoy the view of what is laid out on the track right now. See what is going on in terms of the conification of the circuit and see what the pilots need to endure so we can make that. Bucharest got the okay from the track manager to go and pull back their car from the grass where they had been set up on the side. As we are pending the next contestant to come out into the track for the autocross timing laps. We just remind you that today is International Beer Day, so we will be having a beer party at the camping this evening, sponsored by the team in Timișoara. If the guys in Timișoara are not capable of providing with a car that works, maybe they are capable of providing with Timișoarana beer for the International Beer Day. And in this spirit, just to remind you that 80% of the sponsorship contributions that we have for this event come from alcohol manufacturers. So please drink a lot. Just not when you are driving. Team in Bucharest starting pushing back the car, most likely straight into the pit box for the troubleshooting of whatever happened in the track. Something was definitely wrong if the driver decided to come to a complete stop during the timing lap of this autocross event this afternoon. Adriana, you cannot call me. My phone is on the music stream. Call my Ashu. Call baby. Pushing the car along the track. You can see the fantastic form in which Petrica pushes the car, because he's used to pushing a cartwheel during his daily job every day during construction. We just found next to the track one of the upright bolts, probably from one of the cars. If you're missing an upright pin, come to us and make sure that we have it on the lost and found. Come here if you think that this missing pin from an upright is yours. It may be from our tame forklift driver, Borborean, who is missing a screw right now. We are right now seeing the replay of OLU's Autocross. You can see that our pilot is having a lot of trouble keeping the very, very fast lap that they did across the Autocross track in this event. I think that this is Sakari's second run. So the second timing lap, when he already knew the track of the circuit, when he already had gotten a feel for how it looked like, how the car handled on this really narrow track at some points. And it looks fantastically clean how the car is moving. You can see the marshals impressed also by the car's performance, impressed also by the driver's performance, as we see the car turning around, hairpinning and slaloming on this second part of the slalom across the track. Onto the third part of the slalom, and on the last hairpin in this layout that we have prepared for all the teams in this competition. Second to last corner, the tricky part that we did on the last corner, new to this year, and across the finish line. This lap had a time of 1:05.99, so barely under 1:06, which was the timing that Cluj managed to pull in their best lap. And we are seeing right now the cooldown lap as our pilot is having a bit of fun with the drone. Our pilot was complaining that the car was basically too fast to keep track of it. So we will be asking the team from OLU to drive slower on the second run, so we can properly do aerial footage of your runs in the autocross. This may seem very stupid, but again, Racing is not about timing, it's about looking cool doing it. And if we cannot film you, you cannot definitely look good in any way possible. Again, this is the cool down lap after the first round. And we are going right now into the timing of the second lap as he will cross the starting line in this Dutch circuit. There we go, that is the beginning of the second timing lap. Completely missing the car at this moment. The drone has the dick completely over his head, as it's said in Romanian. Sadat pula peste cap. As he does not even manage to keep the car on the frame while the car is zigzagging and slaloming on this very complicated track that we prepared. Almost to perfection. Coming on to the second part of this circuit, which is basically the slalomy side of it, the part that is closer to where we are standing, to where we have the tribune and our media post. And we can see the car in the last hairpins up to the last slalom. Final portion of this circuit, coming it in front of us, as you can see. And along the last turn and difficult portion of the circuit and across the finish line. This was the fastest lap that OLU managed so far to pull in this autocross event. We just got informed that Hoff ran out of battery. That's what happens when you use your car to charge your phones overnight. And they had to make a quick stop to charge the battery of their car. Fortunately, one of the main aspects in their E128 design is the compatibility with the Tesla supercharger. So they managed to get enough juice in their car for the autocross run in barely 7 hours, as we saw them waiting. And in a moment we will see them back in the scrutineering, hoping to see also their performance on the track very, very, very soon. Just remember, An electric car can be charged in two ways. You can either plug it into the charger, and if you don't want to do that, you can just spin the wheels in the opposite direction and the battery will charge. If you push the car enough on the ground, you will charge the batteries. Trust me, it's science. Pulling on to the scrutineer tent for the second time. We don't know what the issue was with that led them to the back of our scrutineering area for some probably checks or adjustments. But in this case, we have the car back on the tent, back on the scrutineering tent. We are expecting the scrutineers to start very soon all their checks. And after that, we should see the car on the track. Hoff guys, can you confirm for us who is the driver? Martin is the driver that will be doing the first half of the autocross for Hoff. Hoff Spannung. Today is the International Beer Day. We repeat, these guys are from Bavaria. So they know more about beer than they know about cars. But we still hope that they know enough about cars to complete the autocross with a very good performance. And this is what we're hoping for. We are being indicated by the team captain that so-so. So we'll see. In this International Beer Day in the evening, we're expecting each of the teams to bring any of their home beers into the campsite party this evening. If not, they will not be allowed to compete for the endurance event tomorrow. If you think that motorsport runs on gasoline and electrical power for these two type of category cars, you are wrong. Alcohol is the main driver of any engineering event. Anybody will confirm that the endless nights that led to all these cars competing today in here in this autocross event are completely fueled by alcohol and junk food. You can really tell that Cluj is a city on the mountains. You can see again the Cluj team getting up the hill. For particularly no reason, they already finished the run for today. But they are getting a liking for the mountains. We're expecting a pack of sheep to be passing left or right to left in any moment now. And they are probably going there to milk some of them. We can see the guys in the sun in there. There is companionship, guys holding each other by the arms. Plenty of hats covering their heads. Very cool sunglasses, and we have one Egyptian guy you can see because he's wearing a white turban. We can see underneath the timing tent. The guys are getting anxious at the timing. You can see. Who is that Borborean dancing in there? Are you Borbo? Yeah, he's our track manager in the timing with David Pereni next to him in orange. And who I imagine is Banu next to them? Yeah, he is. It's Banu. Banu is known for his precision positioning cars into the starting line for the acceleration and brake test. He positions them to the millimeter. He's the tolerance guy. We will be organizing a session of Meet Your Heroes this afternoon. Meet Your Heroes this afternoon will be focused on meeting the scrutineers that failed you during the pre or post scrutineering. And we see that Hoff is out of the scrutineering tent and going back into the charging station or whatever they are doing in there. Something seems to be going on with their car as all the marshals are going back into the comfort of the shade outside of the track, which means that we are not expecting to see anything on the track in the next minutes. Sorry guys from Cluj, you took the walk for nothing. You can see the defeat in their faces as they come home empty-handed. Their dicks between their legs, nothing to come out of this was good. They are just walking in the sun, field in the desert, seeing the fields behind them. This is the equivalent of the Midwest of Romania. There is basically sheep, cows, and alcohol. Why did you stop, guys? You can go home. There is nothing going on there. Just scrutineers under the tent. Hoff is pulling the car in or out in some way. In any case, they are taking the pleasure of putting it in and putting it back out. We'll see if that will lead to something else. You're not as funny as you think right now. But it's a good try, come on. You can do better than that. Hoff is inside the tent again. As we are listening to this fantastic music that looks like we are looking at a Brico program. If you need any gardening tips, just come to us. We already have the music, we just need the knowledge. And again, we just found an upright bolt, completely sheared on the track. It seems to be from one of the electric cars. If you're missing one, just come see us. We have a problem with the insulation module device for the Hoff thing. And we have a recommendation for them. German teams come from the country where automotives were invented, not from the country where electric motors were invented. That should give you a clue of what you're good at and what you're not good at. We recommend you stick to gasoline, which is funnier, faster, and overall it will get you late 100 times more than a fucking electric scooter. We remind you that today's Autocross event is sponsored by Choco Croc, the cookies of your childhood. If you feel hungry, if you need a bit of sweet, Choco Croc is the way to go. We were getting so bored in here waiting for Hoff to do something that we already ordered food and we got it delivered. So whenever you decide that you are ready to entertain us a bit more, just let us know 6 hours in advance so we can take a nap. We're getting action in here. Hoff is getting out of the tent again and coming into the scrutineering tent for the third time. Third is the charm. So charm us, please. Just remember the cornerstone of any good diet is eating your vegetables also. This is the only version of the non-copyrighted music that we could think that is closest as possible to Bavarian traditional music. It turned red. It's good. It works. We're getting the signal for the marshals to get on their marks, which means that the car is good, which means that everybody is stealing my food right now. Get to your positions because the car seems to be ready. We have finished washing the dishes, so we can remove the gloves now. And we will be pushing the car into the starting point as the marshals start preparing on the circuit. And we're pushing the car into the starting line for this autocross event. The first run that Martin will be doing with this E128 car. We're waiting for the okay. Waiting for the go from the track manager. Waiting for the okay from the pilot. The car is in red. We are ready. And that's a green flag. The accelerator is on the right. Yes, that one. And we are off. Onto the first curve. Oh! And doing a very sexy drift if it was intentional. If it was not intentional, it's not that nice. Car is facing the other way around right now. He lost control on the acceleration towards the starting line. And we're waiting to see now what is the decision of the track manager. They're giving permission for him to do a complete turnaround and continue with the run. We see the okay, and now they are pointing him into the direction of the starting line. Now starting this first timing lap and getting onto the first slalom and drifting again. Continuing again with another 180. Raw power onto the first corner already and going into the first hairpin. Now he's just getting into the first hairpin. Very tricky one with a very late apex. As we come on this first part, far part of the track. Seems to be going a bit more defensive at the moment after these two slips that he had the beginning of the lap. Onto the second slalom. Cleanly passed. Coming around in front of us. into the third slalom. Second to last turn in front of us. And it sounds like an electric razor machine as it crosses the finish line on this first timing lap, 1:22.16. A very slow lap because he had this uncontrolled drift during the first slalom right at the beginning of the track. And the pilot just stopped and he's getting out of the car. TSL green, we are being informed. The driver regressed and the car is stopped on the first corner after he finished the first timing lap in this autocross session. Team members and scrutineers moving into the farthest corner of the track right now. This always happens in the farthest corner of the track. That's Murphy's Law. And we'll see what the issue was. Everybody gathering around the car, of course at a safe distance, and we'll see in a moment what is the verdict of what the problem was. Use the live event comments to let us know if you're single, if you're looking for your soulmate. We'll help you organize that. Tell us if you're looking for love. No matter what type of love you're looking for, tell us in the comments and we will help you find your soulmate through the live stream here today. As you saw later on, we have a party at the further edge of the track. They just ordered pizzas because they are planning on staying for a long time in there. And the beers will be coming on very soon, the moment that we close the track for the cars. Remember, don't drink and drive. We're very mad in here on the tribune because we did not get an invite to the party that is happening in there at the opposite side of the track, which is very annoying. It just happens to be behind two Formula student banners, so there is no way we see anything of what is going on up there. Luckily, we have a live feed from 3 satellites and 1 drone that are surveying the area. But what we can see is that the Hoff team members are pulling the car. They are turning it back in the opposite direction of the track. And the car is performing fantastically right now. The problem is that it's not electrical driven. It's mechanically driven by one of the team members. Maybe you guys should stick to pushing the car rather than letting it run electrically. The car coming in front of us right now. The team members do not look very happy, and we can perfectly understand them. Nobody wants to see their car in this kind of situation, but we hope that they will be able to solve the problem soon, so we can see them in the track later today or maybe tomorrow morning if the problem is more serious. But in any case, we want to see them on the track and competing on the autocross event. In the meantime, we have Bucharest that just came out of the pit lane. We do not know what is going to happen faster, either Bucharest going on to the press scrutineering or if Hoff will want to do anything else with the scrutineers on the tent, but we don't think this will happen. At the moment we're seeing just footage of OLU's skid pad from yesterday, of course. It was a very nice footage because the car moves beautifully fast. And some footage also from the acceleration for the R2 Cluj-Napoca car. That was the performance of Hoff's skid pad yesterday. Very clean skid pad. It was not necessarily extremely fast. And with this music we moved from cartoons to very bad B-series horror movies. I don't know where we're getting this music, but it's fantastic. I mean, it's food for dreams. We have one of the YouTube comments that is telling us to tell the purple guy behind me from OLU. Somebody is telling you that you are losing the Cluj game this evening in the sauna in the comments. It could be. At least we have very strong competition in the sauna if we do not have it on the track yet. Let's get the cars ready. Bucharest in the scrutineering again. No, it's not Bucharest, sorry, it's Hoff. Hoff went into the scrutineering again. Sorry for that. We thought that Bucharest had entered the scrutineering. We saw that the car was black and we did not see the light. What color is that? That is pink. That is not pink. That is magenta. What the fuck is that color? We don't care. Pink or magenta? You can vote in the comments what color do you think the car of Hoff is. Indeed, we have scrutineering in the sauna, pre and post scrutineering every evening. And sometimes there is also scrutineering in the sauna during the event. That is the evening event in the campsite. In any case, we see that the checks are being made for Hoff's team, probably to make sure that after the drifting and after the problems they had, the car is still race-worthy. But you don't know if they are entering the circuit after that or they will be doing still some tweaks into their powertrain to make sure they do not have problems again. In any case, it's good that we have 2 cars active right now at the entrance of the track, which means that we will see activity in the next minutes. You can tell the general atmosphere of this track day today by the faces of the marshals, which start to look like they want to kill themselves. Don't worry, we will provide you tools to commit suicide if that is your wish, but we do not recommend it because we have endurance tomorrow, which is going to be way more dynamic than today's event. So just have patience, stay in the shadow, and as last year recommendation went, do not use sunglasses, otherwise you will look like inverse raccoons. Did you miss kindergarten? Don't worry, we're bringing you the music of your childhood in here in this autocross event. Hoff preparing to enter the track again. That looks good. That's what we like to see. It means that the car had no serious problems. We're waiting for the go-ahead from the track manager with the green flag. The car is red, and we have green flag. Starting significantly more conservative until the entering of the track and pushing the accelerator towards the first curve before the starting point of this autocross event and going through the starting line, entering the first slalom, way cleaner right now. He's not pushing that fast. It's completely understandable considering the spins that he managed to do in the last run and the problems that seem to be solved already. Across the first hairpin, on the far edge of the track, marshals do not look impressed, but marshals never look impressed. It's their job to be completely indifferent to what happens. It's like they are looking at, it's like what we see It is saying in Spanish that you look like a cow that is looking at the train. There is absolutely no emotion in their eyes as the car passes in front of them. They don't turn their heads, they don't nod, they don't do anything. But on the other hand, you can see the media guys filming everything, and they show emotion, and they seem to be liking it. And that's what we like to see. Coming on to the third slalom, on this timed lap, keeping it very, very clean. He's still not pushing very much the car. The car can do more than that, we saw it before. Pressing the accelerator as he passes in front of us. On to the last corner. There's a small chicane in there. And across the finish line, 1:16.50. He did not really push the car, but he managed to pull a good timing lap. Significantly better than the one before, which is what we really like to see in here. Martin is still on the wheel of the car, and he's keeping it nice and tight on this first run. 1:16.50. 1:16.50 is the time that they did in this timing lap, in this last timing lap. And the car is back, coming into the scrutineering tent. Congratulations, guys. 2 runs for Hoff. First run by Martin at 1:22.16, and the second run at 1:16.50, while we're waiting for the green flag for the Formula student from Bucharest. The moment that we announce that there is a combustion car coming into the track, people start flocking in. And we have a green flag. We have engine start. Revving up a bit the engine as we come into the start for this motor. And the car is off to the first corner. Keeping it slow, there is no need to stress until we don't pass the starting line, which is crossing right now. He's not pushing the car at all. Coming onto the first corner. Coming onto the second slalom right now. And onto the third slalom. He's gathering a bit more speed in the second half of the track as he's getting confidence in the car and as he's getting confidence in the track. Passing in front of us. And across the finish line for this timed lap, 1:26.84. A slow lap, just making sure that they complete the run. (1:26.84). That is 6 seconds lower than I did yesterday on my bike on this same track. But it's okay, you burned way much more gasoline and you looked way less cool doing it. So in any case, there is always something to learn. At least the car looks black. completing this second half of the cooling down lap and warming up for the second timing lap, which will start the moment that the car crosses the finish line again. Coming in front of us and showing that it is completely possible to complete an autocross race in a Formula Student car without having aerodynamics at all, because at the speed at which he was moving, aerodynamics do absolutely nothing but static downforce. He just pulled back into the pit lane. The first try that Bogdan did was the one in which he stopped in the first hairpin, and this was his second run, completing with a time of 1:26. Nice and tight so far. Need to gain confidence on the car, need to gain confidence on the track. There is no rush. Plenty of time left, as Hoff is still in the post-scrutineering phase after they completed the second run for Martin in the autocross. We have some people asking if the sauna will be live streamed this evening, and the answer is yes. The problem is that there is no lighting in the sauna, so you will probably just have a black screen and some moaning of very big guys inside it. We will put you a fireplace background which looks like the fireplace in the sauna, and you can imagine all the rest of the activity that will be going on later in there. Hoff finishing the post-scrutineering. And we are not sure yet if they will be doing the pilot change in here outside, or they are going back into the pit to do it calmly and then come out again later. And at the time we're getting Bucharest into the scrutineering tent. On your screen right now you have the center UPP drive from Bucharest in the scrutineering tent, and at the same time you have Hoff on the right hand side, in which the pilot is being left to stew. Probably there were still a few minutes left for him in the slow cooker, and he was not yet completely cooked, so they are letting him finish the cooking process until they do the driver's change. It's very thoughtful of you, Hoff, that you are holding the umbrella over your head but not over the pilot's head. But it's okay. German efficiency. He's keeping 2 shades with 1 umbrella. They may not be very good at electric cars, but they are definitely very good at staying out of the sun. Marshals, during this downtime, coordinate yourself through the stations and prepare something funny, a choreography, whatever you want. There is plenty of downtime of circuit. Yeah, the Macarena is good. But unfortunately we cannot put the Macarena for you to dance in here because we do not have copyright access. But we can find the open source Macarena song for you if you prefer that. Amazing! Every marshal is waving a flag of a different color. You are so sexy and so discoordinated. Come on, give me those 8s with the flags. Yeah, that starts looking a bit better. You will be the main content of the recap for today's video on Instagram. So follow. We're preparing for you the replay of Hoff's failed attempt, in which they did more spins than in an amusement park. And we will have it for you ready very, very soon. Ah. You are seeing now on the screen the footage of Hoff's failed attempt at the Autocross. Failed, well actually it was not the failed attempt, it was the attempt in which they did a spin just after the start. It was actually... This was the first attempt that Martin did with the car, the one that came out at 1:22.16. And it came out at 1:22 because of the spin they did right after the start, putting the car successfully then on the track and managing to complete the rest of the track while we were listening to very relaxed branch music in here that is really not giving us the vibe of what is going on in the screen. It's giving more like the vibe of what is going on the track right now. We have the marshals on the piano lounge. You're welcome there later on when we finish with the activities. And you see the car crossing the finish line, and we will see him stopping in a moment when he had the electrical issue that made him egress the car and abandon it exactly before the last curve, as you can see right now. He had just stopped, the car was TSL green, and the pilot egressed. That was not 5 seconds, but in any case it was a safe egress, and the marshals were called in at the moment. The autocross session for today was scheduled to close at 5, but we will most likely extend it a little bit. So we invite all the teams that want to come do another attempt at the autocross to start preparing and come into the sequence line so we can get the maximum amusement out of today's track as we can. Hoff, going back into the scrutineering tent. Going back into the scrutineering tent, we have Hoff with the second driver, with Moser. Niklas is his first name, but they have plenty of Niklases in Hoff. So we'll just call him Moser and see what happens. Can you give us a wave in here to know that you're alive? It's very hard for us when we see a German with a helmet to know if he's alive or not. Germans are not the most expressive people that we know. And if you put the helmet on them, you don't know what is going on. Let's see what you can do. Man, this frame is so sexy. Go into the live and look at the frame that we managed to pull for you. And in here the color does not look like same as we see it live. It's less shiny. Pink. I will say it's pink. Shiny pink. Neon pink. Pitaya pink. For next year, maybe the guys from Hoff will paint the helmet of the driver in the same color as the bottom side of their cars. Que tu cuerpo es para darle alegría a cosa buena. We have an extremely sexy ass sitting in front of the camera at the moment. But it's okay. The camera went bad. The camera faded after having that sexy butt in front of the lens, and right now it's not working anymore. We have a problem with that very nice angle that we had, just because we had all the scrutineers showing the butts to the camera. We are trying not to put music to infringe copyright, but we would also like to keep the feed for all ages friendly, so please do not show your butts to the cameras if possible. We have Hoff lining up to the starting point. This is going to be one of the last trials in this afternoon session for the autocross. We have the marshals going into their positions. And we're waiting for the okay from the track manager when all the marshals are in their stations. You know that there is the rule of no running, but that does not mean that you need to crawl to your positions because we want to see cars moving, not your asses slowly getting in position. We have Niklas ready in the cockpit of their monopost, and we have Dennis in front of him waiting for the approval from the track manager and just gave him the green light. But apparently we do not have the directions clear, so maybe we need to start finishing the setup of the ways so we can get into the autocross. The car goes to red. Still waiting for more indications, but we're ready to go. And we are starting this second pilot's first run, accelerating quickly, warming up a bit the tires, going into the corner before the starting line, and accelerating across the starting line. This looks slightly better. And another spin. He clipped one of the slalom cones and managed to turn around again. The car has problems with the traction control. It has problems staying on the tarmac in the direction that the pilot intends. And he continues across the first turn onto the first hairpin, which he's getting to right as we speak right now. On the far end of the track, harder to see the car from this angle, but we're still there. Coming onto the second hairpin. Seems to be looking much smoother right now. Hoff continuing to run this first lap, this first timing lap across the second part of the slalom, significantly cleaner now than he did on the first slalom, and the third slalom even cleaner on the last chicane. Second to last corner, passing in front of us with this electrical swirl that we like. and accelerating across the finish line with a 1:23.14 time. Hoff continuing the cool down lap, and we're expecting him in front of us very, very soon for the second timing lap, which is the experience that we want to get to see. At the same time, we have the pilot change done for the UPV drive, and they are in scrutineering at the moment, as we see Hoff going across the third and last slalom in this very nice track that our team managed to pull in here. Coming in front of us. Do you hear that noise? That is the noise of boredom of electric cars that sound like nothing as it crosses the starting line. Way cleaner now. He managed to pull the first slalom where both pilots seem to have troubles with this car. Both Martin and Niklas seem to have problems with the first cones of the slalom. But right now, that was not the case. We will see. It means if everything goes well, a performance that will be slightly better than before, or much better than before, we hope. We like competition. Competition is what drives us. Coming after the second slalom onto the third one, and he has cleared all the yellow cones already. We have UPV Drive passing in front of us. What the fuck are they doing? What are we doing? Hoff stopped because he had a car in front on its timing lap, while Bucharest started the timing lap. Red flags across the track, as it should have been in the beginning. They let UPV Drive get into the track with Hoff already in the competing lap. Hoff was pulled into the grass in the attempt to brake when he saw another car in front of him on the autocross. Guys, we should start taking things calmer. We are not in a hurry. We have 6 cars. There is no need to squeeze everything in 5 minutes. Hoff was doing very good in this timing lap, and I imagine that they will be mad at least that they did not manage to complete this timing lap that they were doing so well. Hoff will get another warm-up lap in order to get the tires up to temperature, after which the timing lap will start in order to compensate for this major fuck-up that happened in this autocross session. We try to get over it, things happen, we need to be careful not to rush. Motorsport is already a dangerous enough sport to be hurrying. Let's try to keep things clean, let's try to keep things good, but let's not hurry when we are not the pilot in the car. Hoff will have one warm-up lap before the timing lap, and the pilot will signal if he's confident with the tires before coming across the starting line, and if he feels he needs a second warm-up lap, he will get it before the timing lap. The car will be in good performance to compensate for this mistake that should not have occurred because it puts the pilots at risk unnecessarily. We're waiting for Bucharest to clear the track, after which track manager will give us the green flag for Hoff to continue the performance that they were doing very, very well in this second run for Mose in the timing lap. Cool thing is that we have Hoff in front of us. We can admire this very, very sexy car in front of us, stopped. And we like the pilot also. There is always the silver lining in everything that happens, and we have the green flag. Let's go for it. Good luck, guys. And we are going ahead. We will start warming up the tires again. The car is on the track and we will start the warm-up lap right now. Warming up the tires, taking its time. This is not a timing lap, to remind you. This is just a warm-up. Getting the car up to performance. We are seeing Hoff's warm-up lap again. There is always a silver lining into everything. We get to see more time of Hoff's car today on the track. We will see more laps, and we get the pleasure of seeing a very nice driving of a very sexy car on the track right now, passing in front of us. Driver is focusing and concentrating. You can see that he's starting to push more and more the car every time, which means that the tires are warming up. He's starting to feel more grip. He's starting to feel good. And we're okay. We're starting the timing lap. We're starting the timing lap as he will pass the starting line. He's confident on the car. And there we go, accelerating there. Starts looking good. First slalom, very clean. Faster even than it looked before. Going through the first gate and across the first corner on the far end of the track. We have the first hairpin already cleared, and coming on the second hairpin, also looking very clean, looking very fast. It's looking good overall. And the car looks good in this lighting. We have the light from the back. Very, very sexy atmosphere today here. Coming in curve after curve, getting closer to us towards the second slalom. And the second slalom looks very good, very clean. We have the car shining on the front in front of us. Onto the third slalom, very nicely cleared. Passing the last gate. Second to last corner. Very, very sexy in front of us. Sounding completely different. And that is an amazing lap, coming on to 1:05.90. That was the timing lap for Niklas Mose with his E128 car. Very, very nice car. And as the professor for Hoff University said, you will never manage to sell a car that is pink. She was completely wrong. They managed to sell us on their performance with this car. Hoff's driver stopping on the track at the end of the straight. Hoff is stopped on the first turn of the circuit. Fanika, your ass is very beautiful. You're in the middle of the camera. Hoff team going to retrieve the car again at the very furthest end of the track after doing a very nice performance. 1:05.90. 1:05.90 is the fastest lap that we've seen today, followed very, very closely by Sakari's second lap, which was 1:05.99. So basically 0.09 seconds faster than the OLU team. We start to see very nice competition between an electric and a combustion car, something that we would not have expected that much, but that gives value to this event. While we're waiting for Hoff to solve the problem and either push the car into the pit lane or restart the car, UPB Drive has the engine going and they are warming up the car right now. And we have next to them OLU preparing for Lauri's run. Sorry, that was my mistake. OLU has the engine on warm-up, while UPB Drive is just waiting at the entrance point of the track for the German guys to clear the track. Drive waiting for the green flag. Second driver. OLU going into the scrutineering tent for the pre-scrutineering, while Hoff left the car on the grass. The pilot egressed, and they will be towing the car probably after the event finishes. We have 2 cars left for the run, and we have the green flag for UPB Drive, with Catalin the Closet driving. And he's off, warming up the tires in this first part. And going in for a timing lap. You can see the engine roaring going into the slalom, onto the first gates, and up on the first turn. We have the car covering the 800 meters of the track, meter by meter, faster every time. We're not expecting the fastest performance in the first timing lap that we will see on the circuit. The tires are still getting temperature. Even if it's hot outside, even if the asphalt is hot, the hotter the tires will get, up to the point where they will get up to temperature, the better it will look. We'll start seeing that the pilot is not yet pushing as hard as he should. We're seeing the rear end of the car slipping a bit. Last gate, second to last corner. Last chicane in there. And on to the finish lap. 1:12.80 is the timing for Catalin in this first run. Catalin coming back from the cooldown lap, and we will be seeing the second timing lap from Catalin the moment he crosses the finish line again. So far, getting the track covered before he can start pressing the accelerator with more purpose. The moment that the chrono will start counting down again, we will get the stopwatch running. We have the drone in the air, giving us the air coverage, covering the third slalom, not pushing the car. There is no need to push any more than necessary. The tires are already warm. Passing in front of us. And we will start accelerating about now, as we can hear. And we are starting the stopwatch for this second timing lap, which will be the last run in the autocross for the UPP Drive team. We have the first corner covered, and we're moving slowly through the gates in there and onto the first hairpin. Covering the second hairpin clearly and surely. The car seems to be going slightly faster than it did before, but it may just be an impression from where we're standing. Car is still on the very, very far end of the track, but coming slowly closer to us. Onto the second slalom. And he's getting signal to enter the pit lane. And the car is being recalled onto the pit lane and onto the scrutineering while we're waiting for OLU to enter the track. OLU entering the track, quite aggressively warming up a bit the tires in this very short straight before he will get into the starting line, accelerating way more aggressive than we have seen the other cars been doing in the last laps. Coming onto the first straight, a car that turns seamlessly in comparison with bigger, longer cars. covering without any kind of problem the first part of the circuit. We're still on the far end. We are being told that Bucharest was recalled to the pit lane because the brake light seemed to be not functioning properly and it was on all the time. As we see OLU coming closer to us and covering without any kind of problem the second slalom, and then the third slalom, same way. Last gates being covered, second to last corner. Passing in front of us with the combustion engine noise that we like, and 1:05.51. 1:05.51 is already the fastest lap that we've seen today. Right now, as we have seen today, OLU has the first and the third fastest lap in the circuit in this autocross track, followed in second place by Hoff in the second run that team captain Nicolas Mose did after the problems that occurred with the synchronization of the cars on the track. We have OLU coming in front of us in this cool-down lap. And coming onto the last corner before accelerating to start the second timing lap, which starts right now onto the first slalom. This car makes it look like it's been purposely programmed for this kind of track, and the pilot is doing absolutely no effort for it to follow the track. It moves seamlessly fast. We're still on the far end of the track, and we will start seeing the car coming closer and closer for this second half that is closer to where we're sitting in here, and closer of course to the cameras. Onto the second slalom. Very clean second slalom, with the last two hairpins that he will be covering very, very soon. Last gate covered without any difficulty and accelerating in front of us. And on to the finish line for 1:03.44. Completely destroying any previous record of what he did before. Reducing the timing by 1.5 seconds over the fastest lap of the track, which he had just set a moment before. So at the moment we have the fastest lap at 1:03.44, 2 seconds faster than his previous first lap, which was already the best performance that we had seen today in the autocross, at 1:05.51. And we will see the car coming over to the post-scrutineering in a moment to validate the results of this lap. And OLU pulling into the scrutineering tent. Scrutineers jumping over to the car. They are completely impatient to get it over with. The Hoff team going to retrieve the car, where it was left at the very end of the first turn, furthest edge of the track. We start pulling back the marshals from the track. We start pulling back all the chrono, all the timing from their positions. We are slowly coming into an end of today's dynamic events on today's autocross session. First autocross session. We will have another autocross session tomorrow morning, which we will have in replay in the afternoon during the endurance breaks. OLU still on the scrutineering, and we are expecting to see the okay from our scrutineers any moment now. We have on camera all our 3 scrutineers doing the post-scrutineering. From our perspective, it does not look like they are scrutineering anything. They just like to show their pads on camera. And we understand why. Hoff retrieving their car. Congratulations, guys. Very nice performance. OLU just finished the post-scrutineering. They will be moving back into the pits. Pilot is getting out. And Hoff is waiting to enter exactly that same post-scrutineering to validate the very good lap that they did in this last run by Niklas. In the meantime, already all the marshals have already cleared the track. It's hot out there. Hoff already in the post-scrutineering station. . And we're closing the live feed today, the live stream today, with some images of the run, one of the runs by Bucharest, by UPP Drive's autocross session of today. That was everything for today. We will be showing you more motorsport tomorrow afternoon for the endurance run, where we will also be covering any leftover autocross sessions that were left from today, and of course any funny bits and pieces that we find that are interesting to show to you while we are off camera. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for being part of this sporting event, from this motorsporting event. We are more than happy to be bringing you from Dej, from Romania, from Transylvania, from the land of Dracula, from the land of Palinka and Tsuika, the best of what Formula Student has to offer. We're trying to keep the event nice and clean. We apologize for any inconvenience to the teams and for anybody, for any mistakes that occur during the coordination of the event. But we are trying to make it as best as possible, as safe as possible, and we will continue doing that and learning, of course, like anybody that is doing something. We want to thank you for being with us. We want to thank you for viewing all this event, even if it's live, even if it's through the live stream, and we will be happy for you to join us tomorrow for more motorsport, more noise. Even if it's electric cars, they still make noise, and more lap records on this Formula Student Balkans 2025 from Dej, from Romania. Have a good afternoon and see you tomorrow.